am going to answer all of the questions that you guys asked me. I put out a request the other day that you guys asked me a bunch of questions, and I had hardly got a good response, and then finally I said something on a vlog, and then boom, it blew up. So I got like a ton of questions, which I am super, super excited about. But I thought what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit here in my living room and answer those questions. I have a glass of sweet tea that I'm going to sip on while we chat. I just kind of thought being here in my living room would make it seem more like y'all are sitting here in the living room with me asking these questions. So let's go ahead and get started. I basically went through all of the questions and took a screenshot of every single one of them because I didn't want to forget any of them. So we're gonna start with the very first question. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I have these glasses on because they help with the bright light that's on my phone. So I know there's probably gonna be like a glare, and I try to avoid that glare as much as possible, but I do have a phone in front of me and I do have windows in front of me as well, which is helping with the lighting. Okay, so the very first question is, and I don't know who asked these questions. I just took a screenshot of the questions themselves, so I don't know who it is, but thank you guys so much for asking these questions, and hopefully you guys will recognize which question was yours. Okay, stop babbling, Ange, let's get to it. Did you and Brian, or do you want to have any more children with Brian? What about moving closer to Disney? Well, Brian and I do not want any kids. We do not want any of our own. I already have 4 from a previous relationship that was over 20 years ago, and Brian and I do not want any more kids. We are good. And what about moving closer to Disney? Well, we just moved here to Alabama, so moving closer to Disney is not an option. I don't even think in the foreseeable future that's ever going to be an option, but we are here in Alabama, and that's pretty much where we are going to stay. What about more traveling when this is over to different countries, when like the pandemic is over? Yeah, we definitely want to. This year we were actually supposed to go to Italy, and due to COVID and them shutting everything down, we were unable to go to Italy. So that kind of sucked for a little, well, it sucks in general, not just for a little while, but it just like sucks in general that we didn't get to go because we were looking so forward to it. We had planned that trip for over a year, and then all of a sudden like this pandemic happened, and our trip to Italy and the first time ever going overseas was completely kiboshed. Does Brian mind taking care of you since you don't work? Just curious. I know men that will only take care of women if they are taking care of their kids, meaning stay-at-home mom. Hope your day is going well. Thank you. My day is going very, very well. Hope yours is going well as well. Okay, you know, I don't think Brian looks at it as taking care of me. We have been together for 20 years. I think that is just, we take care of each other, quite honestly. Just because he is working and making the most, you know, making, I guess, bringing home the bacon, I guess you can say. He doesn't see it as taking care. As a matter of fact, I think it makes him happy, proud to be able to provide and take care of us. You know, it's not just taking care of me, he's taking care of us. He's securing our future. So I don't think that he has a problem with that at all. He doesn't mind at all. Does Brian put you on a spending limit? No. I don't have like a spending limit. He's never said you're only allowed to spend so much amount of money at such and such places. Never, ever, ever. Now, if I do go to Target or whatever, I make a list. We have a list over here on the counter, and we will add to that list throughout the week. If he says, hey, I need, you know, shaving cream, I'm like, well, add it to the list. And if we need whatever it is that we need, we just say add it to the list, and then when it's time for me to go to the store, I will go and get all of the stuff. So there is no like a spending amount that he gives me. Now he will say, don't go crazy. Don't go buying a bunch of stuff that we don't need, but you're going to Target. You buy stuff you don't need. Just saying. All right, next question. When you are making your bed, do you really take off your pillow and duvet? If yes, why? And where do you keep them during the day? I don't have pillows and duvet. I make up the bed, and all the pillows that I have on there, that's what I have on there. So I make up the bed during the day, and then I roll the stuff back at night, and then make up the bed again the next day. So I don't have like a duvet. All right, next question. Is there anything you want to eventually change about your new house? Things that are fine, but just not your style. No, I absolutely love everything about this house. I wouldn't change a thing. And let me just go further with that. So all these other houses around us have been being built. And the one right next door to us, these people just moved in, I think like 2 weeks ago today. And prior to that, we would walk through the house, and I would go like, I don't like that light fixture, I don't like that ceiling fan, I don't like this here, and I don't like that there. But when we walked into this house and we saw it for the first time, I'm like, I love the light fixtures, I love the kitchen, I love these ceiling fans, I love the way the house is laid out. So I wouldn't change a thing. Absolutely not one thing. I don't think right now, I mean, there's not one thing I would change. I think it's great. Yeah, there's not one thing that I would change. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Anything you dislike about your new home? Nope, I love everything about it. Love everything about it. I think that it's just, I have so much room and so much space in this house than I did at the other house, that things are so much more organized here. I have room and space for every little thing that you could possibly think of, and I absolutely love that. So that, to me, that makes me happy. Wouldn't change anything. I love everything about this house. Everything. Whose YouTube channels inspire and entertain you the most? Okay, so as far as inspiration goes from other YouTubers, like I watch Crystal Tara a lot. She's very inspirational to me because of her home decor. So I love watching her home decor stuff. Jessica Braun is inspiring because she does such great makeup. These are driving me crazy. She does great makeup videos. I love watching her videos. I actually also love watching her vlogs. Her vlogs inspire me to vlog more and share more and stuff like that. Other ones, I love watching the Tim Trackers because they are really like down-to-earth people. I don't think that they put on a facade for anybody. I think that they are real and genuine. I love watching because they go to Disney a lot, they go to Universal a lot, and of course, you know, I love those places as well. I love watching Adam the Woo, especially if he's, you know, doing Disney or Universal videos like that. I watch The Magical Mundane Life because she's young lady who just adopted a little boy, and she's a foster mom for another little boy right now. And I just find her to be inspirational because of the fact that she's a strong woman, and she's, you know, fostering babies, fostering children. So I think that that's inspiring as well. I think anybody who's doing something great and good is always inspiring. Anybody who's being helpful and generous and kind, those type of people are inspiring. You want to be inspired by people who are doing good, and that's how I feel. You know, I just want to do good. I want to have fun. I want to share truth. I don't want to share falsehoods. I don't want to lie. So I just, because then if you get caught up in the lie or being fake, then people look at you in a whole different light. There's no reason for anybody to be deceitful, and that's not inspirational at all, you know, because it's funny because when I watch like murder mystery shows or people who, you know, like the Chris Watts guy in Colorado, who killed his wife and 2 kids. When I watched that documentary, I'm just like, did you think you're not gonna get caught? You know what I mean? This is probably like going off of the subject or whatever, but just be inspirational. Just be good, be genuine. And people who are good and kind and honest are just so inspirational to me, and that's why I like watching them. There's more people that I like watching too that I can't even think of the most. And who entertains me the most? Oh my goodness. Okay, so the one who's so entertaining is Justin Scard. Justin Scard's so entertaining. I love, like, he's just fun when he does his vlogs. Adam the Woo is entertaining. I like hearing him. Super Enthused is very entertaining. I love watching her videos as well. She's another one who's in Orlando who does Universal and Disney vlogs. But I mean, I think if they're not inspiring to me, if they're not entertaining to me, then I'm not watching them. So there you go. Do you miss Georgia? I do not miss Georgia at all as like a place to live. I don't miss my house at all there. Now, the only thing that I will say is when it comes to like the weekends and when it comes to like football games and stuff like that, especially last week when Georgia and Alabama played, Brian and I both were like texting our friends in Georgia, and you know, we're like rivalries because we're in Alabama and they're in Georgia. We were always rooting for Alabama, even when we were there. We missed those type of things, gatherings with them, doing things with them, going out to dinner with friends. You guys knew a lot. We always went out to dinner with our friends Ray and Sandy who lived in our subdivision and then moved away too. But we would always go to their house. We would always go out to dinner, and same thing with our neighbors inside of the subdivision. We were, you know, always going to somebody's house and cooking out and hanging out or whatever. And those are the only things that we really do miss about Georgia itself. Everything else, no. 2 questions. What is your favorite content that you like to create? What content is your favorite to watch? You know, I have a lot of content that I like to share. I love to share daily vlogs. I love to share what I'm doing throughout the day. Personally, I feel like, oh, that's not gonna be interesting. That's not gonna be, you know, somebody's not gonna like that. They're gonna think that it's boring. Oh my God, she's making up her bed again. Oh my God, she's doing laundry again. But that is the content that I share. That is everyday, weekly life, daily routine. Every single day of my life is straightening up, doing dishes, making up the bed, you know, taking a shower. These are all daily routines. So I love creating things that are daily routine, vlogging, shopping, recipes, just crazy things going on. So yeah, I like to share just about anything. I like to sit down and do Q&As. I like to sit down and do hauls. I like to sit down and show you guys the products that I just used up or just got rid of, or things that I like and things I don't like. And what is the content that I love to watch? Oh, come on. I love to watch Disney content. I love to watch Universal content. I love to watch decorating content. I love watching daily vlogs. So that's just the kind of stuff that I like to watch too. Did you get your mammogram results? I hope all is well. Please don't feel like you need to answer if this is too personal. Totally not personal at all. As a matter of fact, I think that it's important to share the mammogram stuff. And yes, I got my results back and the results came back negative. Everything was fine. There were no signs of cancers at all in either one of my breasts, which was great. I just think the pain that I was suffering from was just menopausal related, hormonal related type of stuff as well. And yeah, absolutely everything is fine. But I definitely am going to be proactive when it comes to getting those done on a regular basis like I'm supposed to, I think every year. So I'll definitely make sure that it's going to be every October since it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But yeah, go get your mammogram. Since you travel a lot, what do you do to find neat places to tour or visit when you go to all of your hubby's work, conferences, classes to keep you busy? Well, when we went to where we were at a couple weeks ago, Knoxville area? We were in Knoxville, we were in Blue Ridge area. And I shared, I go to this map, or I go to this, what is it? I have on my phone, I have a little thing on my phone under travel. And it's roadside attractions. It's just an app, it's a free app, roadside attractions. And I will type in the location where we're going to go, and I will see if they have like any roadside attractions that I would be interested in checking out while I'm there. Another thing that I'll do too is I will Google like the 10 top 10 best like restaurants, attractions, other things, neat things to see, places to go. So I will do all of that stuff. Then I just kind of make a list and kind of prepare myself for the day and see what I can go do and what I can't go do. Now, Brian and I found that Brushy Prison a couple of weeks ago when we were in Blue Ridge. Totally, that was on the roadside attraction thing. Definitely went and did that. Absolutely love it. So those are that's how I do it. When I know we're gonna go somewhere, I immediately start researching the area and finding places that I can go visit, places that we can go eat, and things like that. So that's how I do it. And I absolutely love doing stuff like that. It's just so much fun. Okay. What was the last book you read? Oh, I read Psychology for Dummies. Yeah, no kidding. I have them in my room, the guest room over here, and I just was, I thought, well, I'm just gonna pick this up and read it for a while. So yeah, Psychology for Dummies, it's the last one that I read. Do I sit down and like read it, like sit down like I'm doing here in this chair with no TV on, no sound whatsoever, and read a book? No, I don't do that. I used to do that. I used to be able to do that, and I would get myself so engrossed in a book that I could not put it down. And I used to do that, and what's funny is I used to do that when I lived here before. I would always get a good book to read while I was at work because I could read between patients, and that's exactly what I did. And then a couple of the girls that I worked with here, we loved like murder mystery books, like true crime books, true crime novels. So anything that had to do like John Bonet or Jeffrey Dahmer or anything like that, those were always still so intriguing to me. But I will read stuff like that. But the last book that I read was Psychology for Dummies. So there you have it. Last book. What was the best thing that's happened to you this week or last week? The best thing that happened to me this week? I don't know. That's really weird because I just never really think about that. Yeah, no, I don't. The best thing that happened to me, I got to see my parents last night, and my brother and Lucas and my sister-in-law. That's about it. I woke up. That's a good thing. Yeah, or last week. Last week I had, I did that tea with my mom. That was a good thing that happened. Best thing? Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I never really think about stuff like that. That's something that I need to really like stop and think about. Like every day or every night before I go to bed, what was a highlight of my day? That's a good one. Very thought-provoking. Let's see. Do you miss your old house? Any regrets and any advice on moving? We don't miss our old house at all. Not at all. And I think I covered that a few minutes ago. We don't miss anything about that house at all. We do, from time to time, miss the neighbors and the friends that we had there and hanging out and stuff like that. But that stuff was actually dwindling down too. People were kind of like, you know, doing their own thing, and the times together were starting to just fall apart, you know? So it's not like we were together anymore every weekend like we were when we first moved into the subdivision there. Because it seemed like when we first moved in, we were together like every weekend, and that was so much fun. But even, you know, we still got together, we still planned something, we still did stuff, but it just wasn't as frequent as it was when we first moved in there. Any regrets? No. No regrets whatsoever, none. We absolutely do not regret moving here. We don't regret leaving Georgia. We don't regret nothing, nothing at all. Sweet tea in Alabama. Any advice on moving? Start packing early, pack everything. Wow. Be prepared for the worst and just pack early, I guess, and make sure that you have stuff laid out for like your first night in your house. Make sure you have access to hand towels, washcloths, a suitcase, you know, with clothes and extra stuff in it that you need, a coffee maker, because yeah, those things come in handy like your first night. Have you made any new close friendships in Alabama yet? Have you ever considered getting a furry family member? And lastly, where is your favorite place to visit? I haven't made any new close friendships being here. I have met the neighbor across the street. And she has a little boy who's 2. I've met her and her husband, she and her husband. We've met the people down the street. We met the neighbors next door here, we met the neighbors next door there, and then we met the neighbors 2 houses down and the lady across the street. So I mean, as far as like, no, friendships, no. Not yet. Have you ever considered getting, no, we don't want any pets, none whatsoever. Where is your favorite place to visit? Disney. Disney is my favorite place to visit, like hands down. Well, and the beach. Disney and the beach. Those 2 are my favorite places to always visit. Absolutely love them. What are some of your favorite childhood memories? Oh my goodness. My dad was like throwing memories out at me last night too. I'm gonna have to really dig deep. Memories. Going to Tennessee on vacations, riding our 4-wheeler as kids, hanging out with all of my cousins at my grandparents' house, and then shows to watch. Okay, now I'm a huge like TV watcher. Love watching TV, love watching movies, love watching documentaries. So, documentary, Chris Watts, watch that on Netflix. Brian and I have been watching The Umbrella Academy. We're all caught up. We've been watching The Boys. We're all caught up on that. We were watching The Order. We're all caught up on that. Goodness gracious. I love watching Big Bang Theory. Any like true crime documentary, absolutely love that. But yeah, The Boys, Umbrella Academy. I can't think of anything else, man. But we watch a lot. I'm watching all Halloween shows right now. Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, Hotel Transylvania. I love watching all of those. Those, so much fun to watch. Love them all. Notice you wear 2 bracelets all the time. Wondering, is there a story behind them, and if you wouldn't mind sharing? Nope, no story behind them at all. This one is just a Tiffany bracelet with the, you know, blue Tiffany symbol on it. And then this one's just a regular like tennis bracelet that I bought a couple of years ago. I mean, I've had these now for what, 5 years or so, both of them. So yeah, just a regular tennis bracelet and then my Tiffany bracelet. Nothing, no story behind them at all. What's your bucket list vacation, and what would be your absolute dream job? Also, who do you love to watch on YouTube? I said earlier who I like to watch on YouTube: Magical Mundane, Adam the Wood, Trackers, Crystal Tara, Jessica Braun, Justin Scard, who else? Super Enthused. I like watching the Walt Disney World couple. I like watching Kelsey and John, Kelsey and Corbin I like watching. There's so many out there that I really enjoy watching. And oh, my vacation, bucket list vacation. Well, bucket list vacation would be Italy. Luani in Hawaii bucket list. We would love to go to, I would love to go to Germany. I'd love to go to Greece. I'd love to go to London. So those are like huge bucket lists that we both have. We both want to go. My dream job, woo, this is my dream job. This is it right here in the comfort of my own home. No, really, forensics. I would love to be a photographer that goes into murder scenes and take the pictures of the murder scene itself. Just take the pictures. That's what I think I would like to do. I would love that. That would be like a dream job. That would be so much fun. Blah, blah, blah. Where are you and Brian originally from? We are originally from Chicago. What are your plans for decorating your new house for Christmas time? I have no idea yet. I have been like curious, like, where am I gonna put my Christmas trees? Plural. Where am I gonna put this? I have no clue yet. I will not know until I start getting all that stuff out and playing around with it and figuring it all out. I have no idea, but I mean, I visualize it, but I just don't know. Guess we'll have to see. That'll be up in the future. How many times a year do you get to your hair color done? I get it done, I think 4 times a year. Yeah, I think it's 3 to 4 times a year I get my hair colored. Have you changed how you prepare for Disney? Do you feel the need to study up? Okay, so I haven't changed the way that I have been preparing for Disney at all. I prepared for Disney back in July when they did the reopening the same way that I would prepare to go any other time. Just the only thing that's different is the masks. Masks are the only thing that's different preparing wise for myself. Now, when you get there, you definitely have to prepare yourself for the social distancing and the heat and wearing masks and all that good stuff. But other than that, no, I haven't prepared myself any differently for that. How did you find and decide on the house you currently live in after you moved? Okay, so how we found this house, I reached out to my realtor here in Georgia, or here in Alabama, and asked her to kind of like send us some houses. So she just kind of put us on an automatic list that would always send houses in the price range that we were looking for. And this area came up in the price range, and we came out here and we looked at this house, fell in love with it, absolutely loved it. We said, well, why don't we go look at another subdivision like about 7 miles from here. And so we did, and we met up with a realtor there, one that our realtor set us up with because she was busy that day. So anyway, she said, we love the houses over there. They were looking at building. She said, well, we could build a house over there in that subdivision, but let me go show you the houses that we can build in that subdivision. So we're like, okay. We're like, well, where is it? She goes, oh, it's just 7 miles down the road. We're like, oh, okay. she ended up coming right back here to this house, which this house was the model house that's up in the front of the subdivision. So I'm like, it's so meant to be that we like actually came back to this house to look at it when she showed us like this was gonna be a house that you could build over in another subdivision. I'm like, okay, so it was like totally meant to be. So we decided right then and there this was the house because we loved everything about it. Loved the size, loved the location, loved everything. And so that's how we decided. Very easy and simple. Have you thought about doing a favorites vlog? Yes, I have. Oh, wait, I think I went to school with her. Yeah, I did. Hi, Shannon. I definitely want to do a favorites vlog. I just have so many favorites. Like, what kind of favorites do you want? Like everyday favorites, Amazon favorites, makeup favorites. I can do all kinds of favorites. Name your favorites that you want me to share and I will get a list together and I will share them for you. Thanks. Have you met your new neighbors? Do you like them? We have met the new neighbors. We like them a lot. They're really nice. Here's the thing. Let me go back to our old neighbors. In Georgia, we were so close, tight knit with those neighbors in Georgia that we were able to do and say things that other people might find a little inappropriate. Yeah, so I'll just kind of leave it like that. We were used to those neighbors. We were used to being able to say what we wanted, do what we wanted to do. We were just very, very comfortable with each other in that aspect. No, there was nothing like crazy going on between any of us at all. We all, you know, they were them, we were us, they were them. Nothing crazy like that. There was no swinging going on. But we were just very comfortable with each other that we were able to talk inappropriate when nobody would get offended. We would, you know, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys just seriously use your imaginations and go with it from there. I don't think the people here are ready for us. I'll just say that because yeah, that's it. They're great people, absolutely great people. I know that we will get along, but I don't think that our hanging out will be anywhere near the level that we had with the people in Georgia. That's it. And that's it. You guys can go think about whatever that is for you guys. We were on such a everything was funny. Like we could say things and be inappropriate about things with each other there, and it was okay. Here, they can't. So I don't think they're ready. I don't think people are ready for us here. I don't think so. Do I like staying home and not having a job outside of the home? She stopped working a couple years back and miss it. Anyways, usually blah, blah, blah. Do you like staying home and not having a job outside? Yes, I like staying home a lot. I feel like if I had to go to work, I would be so stressed out on the weekends because the first thing that I would have to do when I come home is do laundry and clean and mop and dust and vacuum. And that's kind of how it was when I lived in Georgia, when I was working. You know, everyday life was about going to work every single day and then coming home and making dinner and then going to bed and waking up and going to work and just doing the whole same routine. And then every weekend was literally like, I had to stay home because I had to clean or I had to do laundry. It was just like I had no free time, but I love the free time that I have. I love being at home. I love making sure that I have, like, you know, Mondays to clean and Tuesdays to do this, and I like staying home. I like staying home. I don't miss working at all. Do you have any favorite Grove products that you consistently order? Yes, I love the room sprays and I love the dish soap. Those are my two favorites. And the scents, I don't remember, but they're great. They're great scents, I just don't remember what they are. What paint color is on your walls in the kitchen and pantry? I believe this is all just, all the walls in the house are painted the same color except for the dining room. And I believe they told me that this was that agreeable gray, but it's in the flat agreeable gray. They needed to do like a semi-gloss agreeable gray. This is all flat agreeable gray. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a nightmare to wipe anything off of this. It smudges so bad. It's like I told Brian the other day, as much as I hate to say it, I need someone to come in here and repaint all of it and put a semi-gloss on it. Same color, but it just needs to be a semi-gloss because this is just, it's horrible, horrible. Where did you and Brian meet? Do you like to read? Favorite authors, favorite TV series to binge watch, rewatch? Okay, so I already went through like TV series and binge watching. Big Bang Theory, Seinfeld. I love watching those. I could watch Back to the Future over and over again. I could watch Brady Bunch. I could watch 90210. I'm like, you guys should know that by now. I love 90210. Those are ones that I can binge and rewatch all the dang time. Brian and I met online. Brian and I met in a Chicago chat room because that's where we are both from. I'm actually from the northwest suburbs of Chicago and he is from the south side of Chicago, and we met in a Chicago chat room. That is how we met, online, 20 years later. I do like to read, but it has to be a like true crime book, like I said earlier, anything about Jean Bonnet. Oh, those girls that were stuck in that house in Ohio for like years. I read that book. So stuff like that, real stuff. I like reading real stuff. I don't like any like fake romance novels or anything like that. I've never been into like romance novels. Nah. I like real true crime stuff. Have you changed how you, oh, that was a prepared Disney one. Okay, so I took a screenshot of like the whole one big thing. Does Brian like that you do YouTube? I don't think he cares that I do YouTube. And I will be honest, he does not like give me the support, I guess, that I need. And I think he just does it like as a dry humor type of thing. I don't think he means anything, you know, sinister behind it or ugly behind it, but he does tend to like make fun of me sometimes, and I just don't, and it's not like mean, like I said, it's just, you know, him being him. He's a jokester, he's a funny guy, he's a joke maker. But he doesn't like hate it. I don't think he cares. Quite honestly, I don't think he cares. I think that he's happy that I have a hobby, that I do something, but I will say that there are times that I feel very uncomfortable vlogging or filming in front of him, because, and I shouldn't feel that way, but I do. It's like anything. Even if I'm out vlogging in public somewhere and I'm by myself and I'm at like Kirkland's or Target or something like that, I feel very uncomfortable doing it there. People look at you weird. They're like, what are you doing? So it's just one of those things. But he doesn't like hate it. He doesn't mind it. It just, yeah, I don't care if he does or not. I'm gonna do it anyway. So that's it. That's that, because I enjoy it. And I mean, who's to stop me from doing something that I enjoy? I don't stop him from doing things that he enjoys, so why would I allow him to stop me from doing things that I enjoy? He doesn't mind it. He doesn't hate it. but he doesn't mind it. I think a while ago he really hated it. He didn't really like it at all. I think he felt that, I think he feels that it's a waste of time. I think he feels like if I was gonna do this, it should have been like an instant hit overnight. I should be making millions of dollars. But that's probably never gonna happen. It's very rare that it happens to those people, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the people and then this is just my opinion, the people who are making the millions are the ones you see getting in trouble in the news because they're doing things they shouldn't be doing. They're lying, or they're doing stupid things just to get the views and to get the monies. I'm not like that. That's not what I'm gonna do. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I started this for. I started this because I wanted something to do. I love sharing. I love talking. I love the aspect of being social. I like it. So I think that's like, he feels like it should be making tons of money. That's how I think he feels. So I don't think that he hates it. He doesn't hate it. He doesn't dislike it. I just think that he feels that it needs to be making more. I need to be making like a ton of money. I need to be like, but I'm not. No, it's not. This is not like an instant millionaire type of thing. Very, very few people have that like instant millionaire type of thing. What I would like is more subscribers, because that's always just nice. I would love to hit that 10,000 mark. That just would be so cool. Just to say I have like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. What? I mean, hitting 7,000 was great. Hitting 5 was great. I'm almost close to 8,000. That is great. That is so awesome. And I sometimes feel, and I know this is kind of getting off track, but I feel like, am I not good enough? Am I not great enough? Am I not YouTube worthy enough to have that many subscribers? You know, I just don't know. I question myself a lot when it comes to that. Maybe I'm not as entertaining. Maybe I'm just absolutely stupid and boring. Maybe, you know what? Those are just always the questions that I always have in the back of my mind. Why have I been doing this for so long and I'm only at almost 8,000 subscribers? Why do I keep doing this to myself if I'm only at 8,000 subscribers? But I go back to the fact that I love all of you. I love sharing. I love talking. And, you know, and I just, if Brian, I don't want to like say he doesn't like it, or I just wish he would help me more. I wish he would kind of be on here more with me. I think he's warming up. I think he's getting better. He knows that I have the camera in my hand all the time. So it's something that he needs to like get used to, right? Yeah, all right. Let's move on from that. And I didn't want you guys to think that, I didn't want to like put Brian in a bad light or anything like that, or make it sound like he's not like supportive, because that's not the issue at all. It's just that he just doesn't care. You know what I mean? And not that he doesn't care because he's just inconsiderate. It's just that he whatever makes me happy, whatever floats my boat, whatever works, whatever, you do you, girl. That's pretty much how it is with him. So it's not anything like bad against him, because I just definitely didn't want to make it sound like that. Oh no, so now I lost all of my questions. Okay, so the next question was, does Brian have any brothers and sisters? No, he is an only child. What is your favorite meal to cook, and what is Brian's favorite meal that you cook? I love to watch you cook. Well, thank you. I like to cook sometimes. I like to bake more than I like to cook. But when I do cook anything, he really likes it when I make soups. He likes it when I make, he likes when I just make like barbecue chicken and rice and a vegetable. He likes that type of stuff. Soup would be like his main thing. He loves just like a good homemade like chicken soup, beef soup, something like that. We also love to make breakfast. So breakfast is always one of his things that he likes to cook. So yeah, that answered that. When did your love for Disney start? When I was a kid. We went to Disney twice when I was a kid. I went the first time I was 9, and the second time, so funny, 9 and 19 is when, 9 and 18 I think it was, when I went to Disney. Disney and Universal both, you know, we went as a family. And then from when I was 19, I never went again until 2012. That's a long time. And I always knew I wanted to go to Disney. I always knew I wanted to go back to Disney. That was something that was always talked about. Even when I lived in Illinois, I kept saying, I want to go to Disney, I want to go to Disney. It just wasn't in the plan for us financially to go to Disney ever when we lived in Illinois, because at that point I was still going through a horrible divorce, and it just wasn't ever going to happen. And then when we all went in 2012, it just completely reignited. Reignited? Is that a word? Reignited my love and passion for Disney, and been going every year ever since, and I absolutely love it. My favorite character, oh goodness, I love Merida. I really love Merida. Obviously we love Mickey and Minnie. Well, I just get excited when I see any of them. I love seeing Judy Hopps from Zootopia coming down Main Street, and Nick the fox that works with her. I love that. Okay, could I get a close-up look of your wedding rings? Oh sure, they really need cleaned, but I'm gonna do like a close-up look. Will they focus? Okay, I couldn't get it to focus. So, how long have you and Brian been married? And curious to know how you met. I talked about how we met earlier. Brian and I have been married, it'll be 18 years in December. And then come April of next year, 21, we'll be together 21 years and married 18. So 18, 19, 20, 21. Yes. So 18 years of marriage in December and 21 years together in April. Which state do you best like living in? Well, I would love living in Florida, but that's never going to happen. But I do like living in Alabama. How long have you and Brian been married? I just discussed that, 18 years. Do you enjoy working from home? Yes, I do. Do you like cooking? Yes, I do. Have you made any friends? I've already covered all of that. Do you only like to wear white or gold? I like wearing the white gold, yes. I don't think I've ever seen you any yellow. Nope. My first set of wedding rings was gold, and we traded those in at our 10-year anniversary, and I got a new wedding set, new band and all that good stuff. Well, maybe you could see it up a little closer now, but they're kind of like, there you go, there's my wedding ring and stuff like that. Have you always loved to decorate and buy home decor? Yes. What is my favorite color? And last but not least, how many years have you had your YouTube channel? I have had my YouTube channel since 2014. So 14 to 20, so 6 years? 6 years. 6 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't know. That's always a good question. I hate those questions because I don't know. I mean, obviously I still see myself living here. I still see myself doing YouTube. I see myself continuing to love Disney as much as I do, and you know. Where do you see your YouTube channel? I see my YouTube channel as the same as it is now, maybe hopefully a lot bigger as far as subscribers go. I would love to see it grow. So yeah, that's where I would see that. Do you still collect Ray Dunn? I do, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not like went into stores just like searching for Rae Dunn like I kind of did before. During this whole pandemic, I have noticed that even when I have gone into like TJ Maxx or Home Goods or Marshalls or places like that, they don't have a lot of Rae Dunn stuff, and I don't know like where it's all gone. I don't know if that hype is all over with, but I just haven't really seen a lot of it. Now there are a couple of pieces that I would love to have. Like I broke my honey pot a while ago and I can't find another honey pot, and I'm very upset about my honey pot. It was such a cute honey pot, but I did break it. Fell off the counter over there. What do you think of how crazy the hunting has gotten for the seasonal items? I know, it's crazy because you can't find anything, and when you want to go find them, you can't find what you're looking for. I was really hoping to find some fall or pumpkin, Halloween type of stuff. Haven't found it at all, but I see a lot of people posting it all over. I just haven't seen any myself. Have you thought about a help you decorate mantle, front porch, tray, etc.? My thought is you pick one submission that your fans have submitted an area, maybe once a month, and you decorate a similar area to give ideas. What? Have you thought about a help you decorate mantle, front porch? Oh, so me asking help me decorate. So I would say help me decorate this, help me decorate front porch. Thought is you pick one submission that your fans have submitted an area. Oh, okay, so like they will pick the mantle, they will pick the front porch, they will pick whatever once a month, and you decorate a similar area to give ideas. Ah, now that's a good idea. So just talking back and forth here as an example. So what would you guys like to see me decorate, and give me ideas, right? Give me ideas, and then let me know what you guys would like to see me decorate, and then I do that. Is that what she's saying? Is that what that is all about? Okay, I think I get that. What are you looking forward to the most for your upcoming Disney trip? Oh my God, everything. I don't think that we're gonna be at Disney during the time that the Cadaver Dans are gonna be singing, because I think by the time, I know like when we get there, Halloween's gonna be, I have to get comfortable again. I know Halloween is gonna be over with because we're traveling on Halloween day, and we won't get to Disney itself until the 4th. So I'm looking forward to the smells, walking down Main Street. I love the smell of Main Street. The sights, the sounds, the music. I love hearing the music when I'm walking into the Main Street area when you're like checking in, and I love the sound that my Magic Band makes as I go through. I love hearing the music playing at the train station. I love hearing the music down Main Street. I love everything about it. The sights, the sounds, the smells. I love getting on the rides. Each ride has its like own uniqueness and smell, and I love all that. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to at Disney. I'm looking forward to food, because we're going to a couple of new restaurants that we've never ever tried before. We're staying at 2 new resorts on Disney property that we've never stayed at before, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to just another nice Disney trip, and being there and going into the stores and shopping and looking at all their merchandise, and I'm hoping that there's Christmas merchandise. I'm hoping for all of that. So I'm looking forward to every single minute of my time at Disney. That's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you for the questions. I covered that one. How did you and Brian meet? Did that one. We do not have any children of our own. Oh, no, Brian is a neat person just like myself. He pretty much tends to put things back, maybe not in the right exact spot. Like if I have the butter in a certain location in the refrigerator, and he gets the butter out to put some butter on some toast or whatever, and he opens the refrigerator up and he doesn't put it right back in the same exact spot, I'm like, Brian, Why did you put it there? Put it back in the same spot, because this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna open the refrigerator and you're gonna say, where's the butter? And I'm gonna say, where did you last put it? And then he's gonna be like, oh yeah, so put it back. So he's very neat too when it comes to like picking things up and not leaving things laying around. So he's good at that too. He's just like me. We're both very, very similar when it comes to stuff like that. So this was interesting. Somebody wanted me to do a video about the situation with my boys. That's a legit like request. You know, that's just something I don't wanna discuss it. I just really don't. It's a tough subject to talk about. And there's so much judgment when it comes to that situation that I don't talk about it. And it's best sometimes that I don't talk about it, because when I talk about it, it just brings back so many bad memories and so much, just sickness. I get so sick when I think about all the stuff that I went through with my kids, with their dad, with the courts, with the lawyers, with the financial parts of everything. It was just bad. It was stressful and I hate it. I hate the fact that Brian and I fought so hard. We spent so much money fighting, and in the end still losing it all. And still, so I just don't talk about any of that. It's too hard. And another reason why is because I do know that they watch, and I'm not exactly sure like the boys watch, but I know that their family watches. And if the boys ever watched, I want them to ask me the questions first, basically, before they see the answers anyplace else or anything like that. I want them to hear it from me and not hear it from a YouTube video, I guess. I do have a relationship with my son, Brandon, which I'm thankful for. Very, very often on do I have a relationship with my oldest son, Cody. He and I do text now periodically, but Brandon and I talk quite often, at least once or twice, sometimes 3 times a week. We talk text-wise. My twins, I don't have any relationship with them at all. They refuse to talk to me, so that's that. So okay, let me finish her thing. Just an idea for a video, maybe dedicate one video about your situation with your sons. I bet there are people out there who would feel strong knowing they are not alone in your struggles. You are an inspiration that you can still have a rich and fulfilling life by believing in yourself, which is so true. And I totally appreciate that. Thank you so much, because that is something too that's very, very hard to discuss. It's very, very hard to balance what happened with my situation with my kids and my divorce and all that stuff that boiled down and broke apart, and, you know, years ago, and then the life that I live. People go, how in the world can you know, be so happy and be so cheery and live this life, and yet you don't have a relationship with your kids? That seems a little bit selfish to me. How is it that you can do all this but you couldn't fight for your kids? Because that is not true at all. That is not true at all. And I will just say, Brian, $50,000 Brian and I, well, Brian forked out to help me with all of my court stuff years ago. And it kept us constantly working and trying to get stuff situated with them. Again, I just don't want to get into it, but thank you so much. But yes, I have still remained the strong-willed person that I am because of Brian and because of my attitude and because of my desire and my will to continue to go on and share and talk about stuff like that. Now, if anybody's ever interested in reading it, I do have a blog. It is Forever Their Mom. So Forever Their Mom at blogspot.com or .blogspot.com or something like that. And that shares the whole story. I started that blog back in 2010. No, yes, 2010 is when I started that. 2010? Yeah, it was 2010 when I started that blog. And I wrote every single day about every single aspect of my life with my kids. Yeah. And everything that happened and led up to the separation of everything. So such a subject that I just don't know where to begin with all of that, honestly, but it's just such a hard subject to talk about. And I just sometimes just choose to put it in the back of my head and just let it be one of those things that, yeah. Oh, see, here's the question. Did you ever try to get custody of your kids when they were little? Did any of your family members, like your parents, ever get visitations with your kids? What did Brian think about the whole situation? Did he ever want the kids with you? Did Brian's parents ever dislike that you are older and have kids from a previous marriage when you first got together? Okay, so I'm not older than Brian. We are both the same age. He is 2 months older than me. He was born in January of 73 and I was born in March of 73. So we are pretty much 2 months 2 months apart when it comes to that stuff. And actually he was born January 7th of 73 and I was born March 9th of 73. So we are the same age. Okay, so did you ever try to get custody of your kids when they were little? Trying to get custody of my kids was never ever an option. Again, such a touchy subject. When I was forced to leave the situation that I was in, that was the downfall and the spiral of the loss of any ability that I would ever have to gain custody of my kids. And I didn't like lose custody because of bad parenting, a bad mom, alcohol, drugs, anything like that. So that wasn't why. The reason why is because he remained home. Well, he worked and he remained at the house and I had to move out and get a job after being a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids. And therefore, he established a primary caregiver role. Therefore, made him, in the court's eyes, more suitable as a custodial parent. Does that make sense? Okay. Did any of your family members, like your parents, ever get visitations with your kids? I got visitations with my kids. I got to see them for 2 weeks at Christmas time, every other weekend. I got 2 weeks in summertime. And again, that's just like your normal, typical like visitation stuff. Normally it happens the other way around where the dad gets the visitation, but unfortunately just circumstances happen. And because I ended up moving out on my own, he established that primary caregiver role and therefore pushed me out of the picture. And that's kind of how it went from that day forward. I was completely like pushed away. And then as soon as the new stepmom came into the picture, it got even worse. Look up parental alienation and you'll see that it happens in a lot of divorces. Not every divorce, because let's face it, some people can be adults about stuff. And unfortunately, I was not dealing with that. I was not dealing with an adult. I was dealing with a Okay, never mind. What did Brian think about the whole situation? Wow. It's so weird to go back to the beginning of all of this. Brian's pretty much, you know, in the very beginning, Brian was just like, you know, we can just be friends. You know, you have this whole situation that you need to deal with, and that's what you need to deal with. And then things progressed with me and Brian, obviously, and we became more than just friends, and then eventually we became husband and wife, and we lived together for 3 years. And so he was my rock through everything, and he was scared of the situation at first, but then he realized like everything that I had told him was like true. And it's interesting to go back now and to look that even some of my family members were like said things about me that Brian like actually even knew not to be true, which is just, it's just weird. It's so hard to talk about. Did he ever want to have kids with you? No, we never wanted to have kids. I was done having kids when I had my 4 kids. Did Brian's parents ever dislike that you were older? We talked about the whole older thing, or have kids from a previous marriage. It's not that they didn't like me, it's that they were concerned about, you know, Brian and I our relationship together, and the fact that we were going to be bringing in 4 kids into this relationship, you know. So I think they were just more or less concerned. But then again, when they really got into it all with me, they realized, wow, you know, this is what she's saying is legit. What's been happening is legit. So that's kind of what I always say is like, if nobody ever believes whatever happened, you'd have to literally walk in our shoes, be in our heads at that time to actually really know what happened. And his parents, his mom more than anything, and his aunt know firsthand what Brian and I went through, and me physically and mentally, spiritually, financially, what we all went through during those dark times. But you know, you have to go through so much stuff in order to get out on the other side such a better like person. And I feel that we are so much better than what we were portrayed back then. And the boys, my one son who lived with us before sees it, and he knows the truth, and that's it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So we're just gonna move on. What kind of child were you? Outgoing, shy? First I was shy, and then I was outgoing because I always loved to be like, not so much the center of attention, but I always loved to have everything like so. Go figure, right? But I wasn't shy, and I wasn't like outgoing. I was just like your normal like kid. I think that's about it. Oh, would I like to be a grandmother? Sure, someday, but again, with my situation with my kids, I don't know how that would work out. That's it. I think that was it. Oh no, I think I have 2 more. No, that's it. All right, guys, thank you. All right, so that is it. Thank you guys so much. I know this is gonna be a very, very long Q&A video, but I'm hoping that you guys will stick around and watch the whole thing. And thank you guys so much though for asking all of those questions. I definitely do appreciate it. And I thank you guys so much for taking the time to ask me those questions, and then sticking around and waiting for me to do the answers and put them up on YouTube. But thank you guys so much. I definitely appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. And thanks. That's all I have right now is just thank you. My mind now is just like you know, blown, because now I'm like thinking about all kinds of things and I don't want to think about stuff like that. Ooh, I just like to, yeah, but thank you. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.